Well, we find some very interesting signatures when we look at obelisks. Like, strange. Energetically, when we measure obelisks and we look at them and the fact that the founding fathers built them everywhere. There's one in Washington, D.C. There's one in London. Like, they knew about this.
Something.
Oh, 100%. Like, they knew about the importance of them. And so what I can try to come up with is like, well, look, if the pyramids are sort of this massive, I don't know if it would be like a power plant or whatever you want to call it, some kind of a central location, then the obelisk would be like the receivers all of the earth.
Now, did they know it? Or is it similar to some of the other things we've been talking about from ancient history today where certain ideas are passed down?
I think, based on everything that I've looked at, that the founding fathers and these groups know far more than we realize.
These groups?
I'm not going to just say founding fathers. Like, I'm going to say secret societies. I'll call them, okay? And what it looks like are secret societies sort of got corrupted later on. But secret societies are where this has gone back to the very ancient times. Knowledge, maybe I didn't make this super clear enough, is that I don't think that knowledge was shared to every single person in the population.
Oh, no.
I think
that much seems very clear.
It was obvious it was a powerful group of like priests and sages, and I don't think it's changed that much. I think that's the best way to look at it, is that I don't think it's changed that. And if anything, there probably were influences that were very, very strong the other way, of like, well, we can't really have, we need people to like do the industrial things and all these things that were going on. And
we need people to live in some blissful ignorance.
So I think they knew. And I think that I do think the founding fathers were great men. But I do think that they had great ideas.
Yeah.
And I think that they wanted something that is still here, but other bad influences got involved. Like Operation Paperclip, which we won't get into.
Oh my God, yeah, we're not going down that route.
But I just wanted to mention that, and I don't want to go too far any further than that, because I just think it's best to stay away from that. But I would just say that, yeah, they knew. I think the founding fathers and secret societies knew pretty much all this.
You talked to Randall about this?
Not
he is
extensively.
He is amazing.
Well, I'm not. I think that the order of the Masons is not what it used to be. I think Randall's the smartest one around now.
I think that's probably, I just, as a total guess from the outside, that's probably really fair, because that stuff fascinates me, in that I wonder, especially given the stretch of some of it, how sacred certain things really can be, especially in today's world where everyone's connected. People text each other. They do stupid shit. They get drunk. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely existed throughout time. Yeah. And it definitely like still exists on some scale today. But like, what secrets of the universe do they have? And also, and I do give this credit to, I don't know if you want to say secret societies, or you even want to say like governments. That's kind of more where I'd go. Yeah. It's like, what if you do know things that humanity can't handle?
Well, they do.
But okay, so let's stay with it for a minute.
Yeah.
If they do, and I actually agree, some of them at least do with something. If they can simulate the fact that humanity can't handle it, as much as I want to fucking know, believe me, I want to know. It's like, one part of me says, well, who the fuck are you to decide? And the other part of me says, I completely understand.
Well, imagine you had a system in place here that, regardless of your opinions on whether or not the system is good or not, right? The system here, in terms of laws, rules, what everybody's doing, everything, right? Sure. Imagine that's in place and it's very, very, very established. I think they're trying to ride that baby out as long as possible, in my opinion. I think that they're slowly disseminating information through media and movies. It's slowly, some of these concepts are coming in. Some of these movies and what they've shown is like so obvious for people like me. It's like screaming at us, whereas others, it's not super obvious. But that's the whole idea, is that subconsciously, I think some of these ideas are being implanted inside us.
Like what?
Like there was a Marvel movie that just came out. It was, what's that? There was a bunch of superheroes that just came out in a Marvel movie. And I can't remember what it is off my head.
Justice League?
No, later. Just look up superhero Marvel movies. And in that movie, they even have a scene where...
What year?
It's like last year or something, 2 years ago.
I already said Eternals.
The Eternals, that's it.
The Eternals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they're called the Eternals, first of all, right? just like the ancient people were living forever. And in that movie, one of the characters is named Gilgamesh. Okay? And seriously.
But it might be people who are just like
well, hold on.
it's
not done yet. It's not done yet. One of the characters is a Gilgamesh, and he's like a demigod. Another part of the character goes back in time to change an event. And it's the event of Cortez conquering Tenochtitlan and killing all the people. They show the scene in that movie of him intervening in that destruction. Like he's trying to go back and like alter how things went. They're pointing out these like key things in history, these moments that are from like the tablets. It's bizarre. And they talk about how they're like superhumans that can have all these abilities and all these strengths. And I think there's more that I'm forgetting. The point I'm trying to make is I think this stuff is being put into media. And there's many examples. We talked about the Truman Show, Stargate. I mean, I could come up with endless movies where there's like these deliberate little things that are like seem like they're put in.
Actually, yeah, because I want you to tell the Truman Show thing, because that's a movie like every now and then, like not even to go watch, but to go like just explore. It fascinates me so much as a symbol. But you point out something at dinner last night that I never knew about. That.
Yeah, and it's
blew my mind.
And again, I think that subconsciously this stuff works pretty powerful and we don't know it. I mean, that's what the whole point is. I think once things do become more disclosed, I think people are going to be like, yeah, we kind of already knew that. I think that's the purpose, is like they know and they're just trying to hold this as long as possible, but eventually it is going to change. And a lot's going to change. A lot's changed. Eventually we're going to realize the brain does not create consciousness, and the whole shift is going to happen.
All right, don't go there. Okay. We're going to be here all night.
So I don't even know where we were with that story, but it's like this shift is starting to happen.
Yeah, Truman Show.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So you asked me last night how I got started in this whole journey, this path. And I told you that I think because of the power of conditioning and the power of how we're brought up and brainwashed basically in a certain reality, that it takes quite a spark, I call it, to shift someone over to change their entire mindset. Yeah. I think it's a very, very difficult thing, and I think people underestimate what reformatting your brain to a new paradigm is like. It's not an easy thing. It's not a walk in the park. So I think for it to happen takes a pretty significant event. Something, and that's what I had happen to me. And for me, I was already sort of looking for, and it kind of came into my life. But what it is I guess I'll start by saying I already told the story of the Dogon at the beginning of the show.
Yes, like in the first podcast.
Yeah, the first podcast, thank you. We extensively talked about that. The point of the Dogon was, though, the heart of their knowledge, this remote tribe in Western Africa that seemingly like knew things they shouldn't, and things before telescopes were invented, and had influences of ancient Sumer. They stated that most of their knowledge of a star system was the Sirius star system. Now, what's weird is this Owanis character said, we didn't touch on this yet, but this Owanis character from Sumer, that maybe Enki or depending, stated that he told them all about the Sirius because that's where they came from. That's what the only time, and I pointed this out in my Stage of Time book. That's the only evidence we've ever seen anywhere of any cross-related situation anywhere on Earth that somehow tells us where they might have come from. I would say it's probably, if I was, like Orion and Sirius, because that seems to be the things depicted by ancient people all throughout the world. Like we know the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Queen's Chamber, the feminine energy is pointing to Sirius, and the King's Chamber is pointing to Orion. We know that Orion is the great masculine hunter, and that the Sirius is a feminine energy.
Lined up again.
Yeah. So, and that may even tie into like the eagle and the serpent, how divine feminine energy and masculine, right? And how, right? The whole thing may be acting itself out here like that. The point is, though, is that in that whole thread, the Dogon knew things about the Sirius, A, B, and C. The three brightest, the major stars in the Canis Major star constellation that they shouldn't have known. It was like the ultimate proof to leave something behind that doesn't make sense for us in the future. And I think that was the purpose, to be honest. I think the Dogon were supposed to be like, with their procedures of keeping their elder in a cave, I think it was supposed to be this thing that makes us go, what the? Yeah. I really do. I think that was what the purpose of it was. And maybe that's why they instructed them to protect it so much.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.